Good afternoon and welcome to Deakin Stadium in the national capital, Canberra, for NPL Round 6 action. It's the granddaddy of all fixtures in Canberra. Canberra, Croatia versus Belconnen United. Always a pleasure to watch these two in action. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator. Joining me on the scaffold on a freezing cold Canberra afternoon is former Canberra United W League midfielder and Canberra, Croatia top goal scorer, Grace Gill.
Thanks very much, Russ. That's a very complimentary introduction, but happy to be here. It is a cold, freezing cold Canberra winter afternoon.
Now, whilst we've been on many gantries together for W League and WNPL, this is your first NPL men's match, isn't it? So welcome along. Thanks
very much. It is indeed. Had plenty along the women's side of the game, but less so on the men's. But as you said, Canberra, Croatia, so boys team looking alongside Belconnen United this afternoon. Really looking forward to your insight this afternoon as always. And just to start with what we were talking about off air about the lineups and where we're going to be in terms of where we stand for the table. Just to let you all know, at the moment Canberra, Croatia top with 13 points. To win today and they'll be crowned league champions for the 24th time. Which would be an incredible feat. I think that kind of situation puts probably a bit more pressure on Belconnen United, and I'm sure you'll touch on it as well. But Canberra, Croatia probably playing with a little less pressure on them in terms of results this afternoon. Yeah, Gungahlin in second place after their 3-3 draw last night. They came from 3-1 down to get a point against Canberra Olympic on 11 points. Belconnen United on 10 in third. Tigers FC, who are playing this afternoon, on 9 points in fourth. Tuggeranong United on 8 points in fifth. And Canberra Olympic on 7 points in sixth, in real danger of missing out on the top four. And that would be a bit of a surprise for the league champions for last year. Oh, I think it would, and everyone expects to see Belconnen United in the final series, most certainly. But a win for them today would be an incredibly important 3 points. But even just the 1 point through a draw would help Belconnen United into their top four final series. It is almost vital that they do get 1 point as well, because they've got to play Tigers FC next week, and there is half a chance, of course, if they lose both those games and Canberra Olympic win theirs and Tuggeranong even win here, the mix-up for the top four is still very much in the balance. Well, I think we were talking about before, Russ, the top 6 teams of this men's competition still vying for a top 4 spot. So results today particularly important for Belconnen United, less so for Canberra, Croatia, but to win the minor premiership, I'm sure they'd be looking to do that. And we'll keep you up to date with what's happening down at Nijong Oval. 10 minutes in down there, it's Tigers FC 0, Woden Western 0. Tigers will be expected to win that one and get on to 12 points. So perhaps the pressure is on for Belconnen United this afternoon. They'll be in the blue kit, Canberra, Croatia in their red. This fixture down the years, though, has been one that we've generally seen at the pointy end of the campaign. They've met in 6 grand finals, 3 wins apiece. Between 2007 and 2010, met in 4 grand finals in a row. Well, that's not unusual colours to see against each other in the grand final. And it's the same in the WNPL, actually, as well, isn't it, thinking about it? The last four years or so has been Canberra, Croatia versus Belconnen United. So these two clubs are real institutions in the capital. Yeah, they are, and I think both on the men and women's side of the game, they do set a standard in terms of the competition, and particularly the Belconnen United boys here at Canberra Stadium, Deakin Stadium, always push the Canberra, Croatia boys. Yeah, they love it here, Belconnen United. They have a very good record here. They're unbeaten in the last 4 at this venue, 3 wins and a draw. Their last loss here was in round 2 back in 2015. I don't know what it is about this venue, because Canberra Olympic enjoy it here as well. It must just be the playing fields. I mean, it's a beautiful field out here, and I think it's the kind of venue where teams come along and there's that sort of atmosphere and excitement, and I think a lot of teams really step up to the occasion when they come to Deakin Stadium. Well, we had snow yesterday, and there's a smattering of it around on the hills in the distance. We've had a little bit of swirly rain. I guess would you call it drizzle more than anything? But it's certainly a few degrees below zero, it feels. It certainly feels that way, and it does make for a quick playing pitch. That sort of greasy grass down there will have the ball skipping along really nicely. So I think that lends itself to a really fast-paced, quality type of football. Credit to Marko Vevakic and the ground staff here as well for getting this one on. I spoke to Dean Greenwich on Friday. They were supposed to train on it, and it was underwater, and there was no chance. If they'd gone on it, this game would have been off. As it is, they managed to sweep it clear. I understand it's a bit boggy in some places, but from our vantage point up here, looks pretty good. Considering the amount of rain we've had over the last week or so, it does look pretty good. There are a couple of patches that ordinarily wouldn't be here for Deakin Stadium, but it's certainly looking pretty good compared to some of the other pitches we see around the region. Better give a shout out, happy birthday to Frank Keisha as well. Usually joins me on the commentary. He's got the day off today. He's enjoying some family time, so happy birthday, Frank. Happy birthday, Frank. You're welcome. Let's have a look at the Canberra Croatia team first. Dean Greenwich makes one change from the side, which won 4-1 at Woden Western last week. Emilio Kishta recalled into the side for Ivan Pavlak, who drops
drops to the bench. The team, Sam Brown in goal, Michael Pocci, Marko Velikic, Nico Oida and Jordan Lamb across the back. Daniel Kobertalo, Ryan Kieran, Emilio Kishta in the midfield three. And the goals entrusted to the front three of Dom Gianpaolo, Daniel Barac and Jason Ugrinich, 5 between them so far this year. On the bench, Daniel Subasic, Ivan Pavlak, and a return for Matt Gerbischer, who's sporting a mink pink haircut, he tells us, and young Riley Boyle as well. Looks a formidable lineup, Grace.
Yeah, very much so. Let's not talk too much about the mink pink haircut, though.
Well, you'll see it when he comes on, or if he does, it's interesting. Let's just say. Belconnen United, they make one change as well from the side that won 4-0 at Monero Panthers, and it's an enforced one. Michael Tarazi forced to the bench with another tweak of an injury. Leon Mickle comes back into the side. He actually did very well when he came off the bench in that win over the Panthers. So they line up 4-4-2. We're not quite sure exactly how at the moment because there's been a late scratching. Luca McCaw has pulled out in the warm-up with a quad injury, which means Max Melik comes in. Now we're expecting Jordan Thurtell in goal, of course. Max Melik likely to play right back, Darren Bailey left back. Guessing that Zach Mabry and Isaac Clements will play central defence, which means the midfield four would be Adrian McCaw, Dustin Wells, Phil Bourgeau and Leon Mickle. Front two, Kofi Danning and Luca Flores. We'll keep an eye on that and just see what they're going to do with that formation. A little bit of a tweak. Not ideal losing Luca McCaw just before kick-off.
No, certainly not, and especially given the impact he's had in sort of recent weeks. A bit of late scratching and Max Melik coming in and had a good few minutes you mentioned last week as well, so I'm sure he'll be able to come in and do the job well. Yeah,
he started 2 games this season already, and he's come off the bench 3 times as well, so he's well versed in this team. He knows what is expected of him, and he has done particularly well. We're just looking around to see how they are going to line up. It may be, we'll see, maybe Darren Bailey's going to move into that more forward role, but I'm sure we'll find out. Welcome back to Canberra football as well for Bruno Kell refereeing this afternoon. Jordan King and Carla Martin, his assistants. Good to see Bruno back. Not having coffee with Frank Keisha.
That's right. Welcome back, Bruno.
I told him I'd get in at some stage. There was a running joke last year that Frank was having coffees with Bruno Kell when Canberra Olympic were apparently getting a lot of decisions. We'll wait and see what happens this afternoon. Really looking forward to this one, though. Bit of wind noticeable up here. Not so sure how noticeable it is down at ground level, though, because the corner flags aren't moving too much. So, at the moment, Belconnen United in the blue. And maybe Melik is going straight into midfield. We'll keep an eye on that tactical twist to this one. Canberra, Croatia, remember, a win today, league champions once more. Only a 7-round season. Points up for grabs, though, and vital for both of these sides as we head into the pointy end of this short season. Dom Gianpaolo over the ball and gets us underway. And Michael Pocci and Nico Oida playing further back today. Been playing midfield for most of the season, but they've entrusted him with a centre-back role this afternoon. Good to have that versatility, Grace.
Yeah, you want that in your playing squad. Players who can play, whether it's defensively or push a little bit further up. And it's hard to plan for as well when you're an opposition team.
Scored a lovely header off a corner last week as well, Nico Oida. Less said about his penalty, the better. Struck the post with that one. Here's Jordan Lamb. Gianpaolo's touch from Ryan Keir switches it to this near side. For Michael Pocci. Pressure from Liam Mickle. Adrian McCaw was in there, and here's Emilio Kishta. First time we've seen him this afternoon. Barac. Gianpaolo outside. Kishta makes a run forwards. And Zach Mabry, the Belconnen skipper. And Pocci changes direction for Jordan Lamb. Canberra, Croatia on a 10-game unbeaten run in regular season NPL football. Their last loss came in round 13, 2019 to Belconnen. They've scored 34 times in that spell. They've only conceded 10. So fair to say they're in a bit of form.
Yeah, look, that's a pretty good record, and we see Croatia Canberra starting off with some really good steady possession, and Belconnen just sitting back and being patient and putting pressure onto them.
Mickle, who came off the bench to such good effect at the Riverside last weekend. Kishta, who bagged a hat-trick at Nijong, 3 spectacular goals. And he looks for Jordan Lamb on the overlap. Darren Bailey is opposite number. Just sees him off, Darren Bailey. Shout out to Ian Bailey and the crew in Aberdeen who are probably watching from afar, as they tend to for Belconnen United.
International fans, huh?
Darren Bailey fan club. Mentioned last week that we were doing Belconnen. They've been through Riverina, Cooma Tigers. Scarf from every club.
That's right.
Tuning in the wee hours of the morning, as they might say in Scotland. Here's Pochi. Mickle puts the pressure on and comes away with the ball. But Pochi snaps back. Kishta sends it forwards. And Bourgeot happy to go back to Jordan Thurtell, who became a dad this week. Baby Leo, born on Tuesday morning. And congratulations to Jordan and his partner.
Lovely news. Congratulations to both of them.
Obviously the baby's sleeping soundly.
I was going to say, is the baby here making its first appearance at an NPL game?
He looked quite sprightly, did Jordan, when I saw him this afternoon. Clearly getting plenty of sleep. Swung into the penalty area. It's going to swirl in this wind when, as I mentioned, when he gets up high, it's a difficult one to judge for Sam Brown, but he coped with that reasonably well. So Max Mellick has gone to the left-hand side of a midfield 4, which is interesting. Not sure how many times he would have played there, but needs must.
Yeah, and Belconnen setting up with a pretty traditional 4-4-2 as well. Somewhat more of a defensive lineup, but just happy to absorb a little bit of pressure starting off this game.
Oida back, Flores putting him under pressure. Bailey's touch is Kier. Now the first involvement for Daniel Colbertaldo. Sends Daniel Barac a little wider than he would have hoped. Pochi. Kier, the Canberra Croatia skipper. And that's a good ball to get Daniel Barac in behind. Can he deliver something up against Zach Maybury? He's got past the fullback. Can't get his cross past Leon Mickle though. Incisive pass from Ryan Kier.
Love that pass from Ryan Kier. Really, really good defence splitting pass there, and that's the kind of play they'll be looking for to break the Belconnen United defensive line.
Here's Marko Verkic, scored a spectacular goal against Woden Western last week, his first of the season. And his 5th in his NPL career. Super finish, it was almost Ibrahimovic-esque on the volley. Early pressure from Canberra, Croatia. Game being played at quite a sedate pace in the first 5 minutes. Swung into the area, Thurtell comes, gets a punch. There was a collision between Balac and Maybury, and Brunakel gives the free kick to the Blue Devils.
Yeah, good decision as well there by Thurtell to get a punch on that one. I think he saw a bit of pressure coming in from the right-hand side and just happy to help that one away.
Belconnen United record here, I mentioned it in the start of the broadcast, is quite incredible. They have scored twice or more in every visit to Deakin in the regular season, by their very first one here in 2013, which is a pretty impressive record against a side that's traditionally been near the top of the pile.
It is, and 2 goals on your away side at Deakin Stadium. It can be a tough pitch to play on, but obviously not for Belconnen United if they've managed to put a couple away since 2013, a formidable record.
It's one of those strange records where Canberra Croatia only have 2 home wins against Belconnen in the last 7 years in the regular season, round 2 in 2013 and round 2 in 2015, but they've won 3 of the last 4 at Mackellar. So go figure that one out. Lamb on the overlap. Looking to get away and get that cross in, but he can't squeeze his way past a couple of Belconnen players. We were mentioning it off broadcast about home advantage in Canberra. It doesn't really count for much, does it? It doesn't seem to.
Look, less so, unless you're on this pitch sort of day in, day out, familiarising yourself with it. It doesn't seem to swing an advantage either way. And certainly those records with Belconnen you've just talked about there at Deakin Stadium, they certainly rise to the occasion.
Sam Brown sends this one forwards. Darren Bailey won the battle with Jason Ugrinich. Dustin Wells, his first involvement of the afternoon. Still no score, and Nijong as well. Wells, interestingly, tried his luck from range. Hasn't had his shooting boots on this season, Dustin Wells. He has got a particularly good goal scoring record over the years, 139 goals in 258 appearances, but none in 5 so far this year.
I think he's that kind of experienced player that at a certain time in the season would step up and put a couple away. He's certainly got the experience and the know-how to do that. And with that goal-scoring record you've just mentioned there, he certainly has a goal-scoring ability. It just might be one of those seasons where other people are taking care of the goal-scoring. Well,
he's got new boots on today. He's gone back to the green boots. Did mention to me prior to kick-off in the tunnel that perhaps that's the difference. It's the green shooting boots, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Lamb finds Colbertaldo. Keir square. Left that a bit short, and McCaw snapped in, and Luca Flores is chasing this one. So you can see there with Nico Oida slipping that there is a bit of surface water around.
And a moment of indecision there from Sam Brown. He managed to come off quite well and still get a touch on it.
That's come off Colbertaldo's knee, and Maybury just shepherds it back to Jordan Thurtell. Anywhere will do. That's almost taken out Carla Martin. Wasn't expecting that one, the assistant. Couple of WNPL matches also this afternoon as well. We'll keep you abreast with what's going on in those fixtures too. Just a reminder, the next week, round 7. At the moment, we're scheduled to be at the Riverside. Monero Panthers versus Gungahlin United on Saturday night. And on Sunday, back here, Canberra Croatia versus Tuggeranong United in what could be a crucial match for both those sides. Well, at least for Tuggeranong United's hopes for the top 4. If it doesn't go well for Canberra Croatia this afternoon, they might be chasing the title next week.
I'm sure they'll be looking to tie things up in the next 90 minutes, Russ.
Yeah, you don't want to leave things to chance, do you?
No.
Throw from Bailey. Tried to find Kofi Danning. 10 minutes gone, live on Bar TV Sports. No score at Deakin Stadium. Live round 6 football. Vodakic volleys it away. Wells tried to win it, but it's broken nicely for Colbertaldo. Not much ahead of him, though. Neither side really busting a gut to get forward at the moment, are they?
Look, not yet, and I think it's a really, really good start to the game. I think Canberra Croatia definitely had majority of the possession, but Belconnen are coming into their own now and getting some good touches on the ball.
Lovely switch from Mickle to Melik. Chance for him to run at the defence and swing it in towards Flores. It's come off Pochi as far as Mickle. A drop of the shoulder and looks to bend one towards that far post, looking to use the wind. Didn't quite come back for the winger.
It had some promise though, it just needed a little bit more shape on the ball, but you can see it's getting a little blustery, and certainly up here, and you can see the ball movement down on the field as well. It's starting to play a little bit of havoc in some of those higher passes.
Oida looks at Balac up against Bourgeot. Coming together between the two. Nothing doing there, says Bruno Kell. Maybury can bring it away. Phil Bourgeot was in outstanding form against the Panthers last week. Was he tweaked something in his knee there when he played that pass? That looked a bit uncomfortable for the central defender.
He's propped up just there a little bit uncomfortably. We'll see how he goes over the next few minutes.
Handball against Leon Mickle. He's got his hand on his knee out of shot at the moment as well. It's worth keeping an eye on that on his right knee, Phil Bourgeot. Sometimes when it's cold and you play those little reverse balls, when you're twisting your knee, it can tweak something.
Well, you lose a hamstring entirely. It's that kind of weather.
Yeah, it's a weather to be curled up in front of the TV watching football. Here's Kishta, a bit of space for him to move. Looks to slide it through for Gianpaolo or Barac, and in the end it bisected both of them, and Zach Maybury was there to cover. Again, they're looking the chances with Kishta and Keir to slide those balls in behind a high Belconnen line.
And there's been some really good passes through there. They're starting to create a few options through Belconnen's defensive line, and there's certainly enough space between them and Thurtell for Canberra Croatia's forward line to run on into. It's just getting that final execution right on that final third.
Kishta's touch. A cul-de-sac down there, and Belconnen can clear. Flores couldn't get it under control, and Oida can go back to Vodakic, and the home side can start again. Oida, Gianpaolo, back to Oida again. To lift it in, he was looking for the run of Ugrinich, but didn't quite get enough on the chip over the top or the direction on it.
Yeah, not quite the right ball there. I think Barrett could have been an option as well through reverse pass in the line, but
the wind has picked up. I think it's behind Belconnen at the moment, isn't it? Blowing from left to right, if anything. Good foot in by Mickle. Danning tries his luck from range, and Sam Brown, I think, had that covered. Rather theatrical dive. One for the cameras, as they say. Last time Canberra Croatia won the league title was in 2018, so didn't claim it last year. Not far away from claiming it this year, of course. After results yesterday, Gungahlin United reminded dropping points, 3-3 draw against Canberra Olympic. They came from 3-1 down to come back, so they'll say that's a point one. Good run this by Melik. Tuggeranong United drawing 1-1 at Monero Panthers as well. First goal for Harrison Bunell, the teenage centre-back in that one for Tuggeranong United. Good ball forward. Bailey marauding up from left back, fires it across. It's going to come for Kofi Danning. Real chance here. He's laid it back for Flores, and Flores couldn't miss. And Belconnen United score. Unselfish from Danning. Flores scores again. 4 for him this season. The Blue Devils in front.
Well, that's a tidy, patient finish there from Belconnen United. You really have to credit the work of Melik down on the left flank there. I think he lost 3 or 4 defenders before being able to recycle through and look for that opportunity. And Kofi Danning just had the ability to get his head up and hold it back. And unselfish play, as you mentioned there, Russ. And that's a really well-formed finish by Belconnen United.
Luca Flores for the 4th time this season. He goes joint top of the Golden Boot, chasing as well with Stephen Dominici. His 4th of the campaign. Again, great work from Kofi Danning, and as Grace Gill said, Max Melik's approach work, the player that wasn't in the starting 11 quarter of an hour ago, has helped create the opening goal. Work to do for Canberra Croatia.
Really interesting now to see how Canberra Croatia will respond, whether they keep playing the game that they've started with, or if they put a bit more pressure or a bit more of a high press that first 5 minutes in response to a goal, or it will be incredibly important.
Credit to Kofi Danning there as well. He was so calm in that situation. Most people probably from that angle would have had a pop.
I would have definitely had a pop there, Russ.
Absolutely. Most people, definitely 2 of us on here, and probably even Ben, the cameraman from there, would have had a go too. Flores chasing this as well.
No, but you're right. Danning's ability to get his head up there, really unselfish play, and just a nice little layoff, so there was a simple finish there for Flores.
Luca Flores hadn't scored an NPL goal before this season in 8 matches. He's now got 4 in 6.
That should give him a bit of confidence.
Talk about breakthrough years for players. He's certainly taken his chance.
I really like to see that from the younger players too, just stepping up and getting their name on the score sheet. It gives the NPL team so much more options in the way of their goal scorers and who they can look to rely on in putting ones away.
Some youngsters on the bench as well. Ethan Stamatis, Reece Lissinger, the goalkeeper, and a welcome return for Jacob Garner today as well, who was excellent last year for Belconnen United, the central defender. He's back on the bench for them this afternoon. Sitting there across from us, and they're 1-0 up. Not a goal that Canberra Olympic would have wanted to see go in. But this has been the story of Canberra Croatia's season. They've struggled in some parts to assert themselves on matches, but generally they find something. Here against Canberra Olympic, a couple of weeks ago they were 1-0 down and were struggling and scored twice in the last 5 minutes to win it.
Well, I'd say they definitely look composed on the ball, and certainly the first 10-15 minutes of this game, I would say that they had most of the possession, and it was Belconnen really absorbing a lot of pressure, so credit to Belconnen to be able to turn that around.
Ryan Keart stepping forward, finds Gianpaolo, Colbertado outside him, ball inside to Kishta. We know he can strike a ball. Didn't set up for him nicely though. Greenwich wants it in the penalty area, Bourgeau's there, and as far as Barac, and that should be easy for Thurtell. Promise for Canberra FC, not Canberra FC, there we go, Canberra Croatia in the final third.
Yeah, look, they are creating opportunities in that final third. As mentioned, it's just that last pass and that final execution to get someone on goal that they haven't been able to quite pull off yet.
Good job Frank Case is not here. I'd have owed him a coffee for saying Canberra FC. Pochi sends it forward. Bourgeau wins it ahead of Gianpaolo. Barac wins a free kick from Bourgeau. Just a quick feat, getting away from the Belconnen central defender. Kear finds Verkic. Oida. Now Pochi. Just a drop of the shoulder to get away from Mickle. Gianpaolo. What options has he got? Ryan Kear to the right. Again, it's a fairly slow build-up. Plenty of blue shirts behind the ball as well. The 2 walls of 4 from Belconnen United doing really well at the moment. Free kick against Zach Mabry for handball, though. It's going to be hard defensively, isn't it?
Yeah, and good little pick up there by referee Bruno in the middle. Just a handball there. Will give Canberra Croatia the opportunity to set up for their first real sort of set piece free kick of the day, and they can be really dangerous from this kind of distance as well.
There's some tall players in this side. Nico Oider's gone forward. Ryan Keir's in there as well. Daniel Barac making a run now. Gianpaolo to swing it in. Flat delivery. They've all dummied it. It was left by Gianpaolo and it was left by the Belconnen defence, and in the end Dustin Wells can send that away. Didn't quite get the delivery correct, did he? But it caused havoc.
I don't think it was what he was after, but certainly the multiple dummies on that ball made it really hard to judge, and Thurtell, I think, lost sight of the ball for a minute, so we're lucky to clear it out there for Belconnen United.
Almost fell for Daniel Barac, who was lurking around with intent, as per usual. Here's Oider bringing it forward. Pochi, Kishta, Barac. It's all neat and tidy for Canberra Croatia with no real cutting edge just yet. They're giving that one away. Now Flores can take on the defence, gets away from Vudakic, and then is brought down by Daniel Colbertaldo, who argues his innocence. Nice little piece of play from Luca Flores.
That was a really tidy run there from Flores. Just managed to get his toe to a couple of those. I think Canberra Croatia were appealing for a high foot, but a really mazy little run there and creating some good opportunities up front.
10 minutes to the break at Nijong. It's still 0-0 down there. Not 0-0 here though. Luca Flores' goal is the difference. Darren Bailey over the free kick with his left foot. Wind behind him. Can he pick out a blue shirt? Or will he go for goal? It's Bailey. Lifts it in towards Isaac Clements. Vudakic wins the header. Nodded clear by Colbertaldo. Dustin Wells on the pieces. Danning. Forced the wrong way as far as he's concerned. He's lost out to Ugrinic and Colbertaldo. And Vudakic can send it away. Bourgeot with Ugrinic. The Canberra Croatia striker happy to settle for the throw-in and gets his team going quickly. Thurtell comes out. The home side having the majority of the possession.
Yeah, and very happy to be knocking it around and finding feet, and they're doing that quite well for this first passage of the game. Just probing in that defensive line to try and get an opportunity on goal, and I wouldn't say that they've had a clean-cut shot yet on Thurtell.
No panic in the build-up though, no real sense of urgency at the moment. There's no need to be panicky as they go forward. Plenty of time left in this one, of course. Keir finds Gianpaolo. Got runners ahead, one of them's Barac. Kishta with him. Back heel from Barac found Kishta. Here's Colbertaldo. Looks to lift it towards Ugrinic. Bailey with the first header, and Ugrinic has popped it towards goal. There's a coming together in the area. Kishta's missed his kick. It's all happening.
Big call for a penalty there too, Russ.
Yeah, it was Mabry on Barac, wasn't it? Did you see much in it?
There's a solid bit of body on there. I'm not sure from here if it would have been a penalty, but I'm sure they'll go back and have a look at it and might plead their case.
Young Malik just took his eye off the ball there for a moment, and Dustin Wells' pass went away from him. This game feels like he's got plenty of goals in it though. Just like last night. 6 of the best at Melrose. Here's Wells. Looks like another effort from distance. Still hasn't quite got his shooting boots on, but he's been a bit further forward this week than we've seen him in a couple of previous weeks, where he's been playing more of in a defensive role.
And I don't mind an effort from that kind of distance as well. It is a bit of a greasy pitch, and with the wind behind him, I think a strike from that kind of area is not a bad option.
He's got it in his locker for sure. Here's Pochi. Tried to slide it through for Barac. Didn't find a way past Zach Mabry. And that's a free kick to Belconnen United. Hearing some big news from Nijong Oval. Tigers 0, Woden Western 1. So the side which are bottom of the table and haven't won a game all season and have only scored 1 goal all year lead 1-0 against the Tigers, which is a result that Canberra Olympic and Tuggeranong United will be rubbing their hands with glee. Should Woden hold on down there, that will throw the cat amongst the pigeons next week. The Belconnen Tigers game suddenly becomes huge for both those sides, and Tuggeranong United's chance of the top four improved as well. Long way to go.
Long way to go yet, but certainly an unexpected goal at this point in the game.
We'll try and bring you news of the goal scorer there as well. But both away sides in front. I guarantee you it's absolutely freezing down in Nijong if it's cold here. Another clash in the middle of the park is Dustin Wells on Ryan Keir, and Dustin Wells picks up a yellow card, his second of the season. No real danger of a suspension, of course, unless he gets sent off. You need 4 before the slate is wiped clean next week. How many have you picked up this year, Grace?
I don't think I've got one to my name, Russ.
That's good.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, your game was washed out yesterday against Monero Panthers, so you'll have a midweek catch-up there. And then next weekend, right here, 12:15, you can join myself and Sarah West for live coverage of the WNPL blockbuster between Canberra Croatia and Belconnen United. Here's Colbertaldo advancing forward. Chance for Colbertaldo to rifle one at goal. Thurtell saves. Badac on the rebound. Thurtell saves again. Double stop by the new father.
Well, that was a decent strike there by Colbertaldo as well, and Thurtell only really managed to parry it away. Had that been anywhere on frame that wasn't right down Thurtell's throat, I think that would have been a decent strike.
Velkic swings it to this side. More promise, though, for the home side. I'm hearing it was an own goal down at Nijong as well, so I guess you could say that Woden have still only scored 1 goal this season. If you're being
gentle,
harsh.
Russ, gentle.
That one's a bit short. Thurtell's come out. And that bounce is going to find its way through to Pochi. Sam Brown, a bit of work to do with that back pass. The goalkeeper very comfortable in possession with his feet.
Yeah, really good composure there by Sam Brown. I thought he was going to clear it, but credit to him, he was just able to find a feet on a short pass and retain possession for Canberra Croatia.
Verkic's pass finds Daniel Badac. Kishta's run ahead, but the play again has slowed down. Belconnen quick to get numbers behind the ball.
You are, and you can see they're setting up a really flat defensive 4 and defensive midfield, which is making it hard for Canberra Croatia, but Canberra Croatia having a little bit more success between the lines, checking off their player and finding feet really quite well.
Pochi takes on Mickle. Mickle wins a free kick. Coming together with Zach Maybury.
Mickle's done some really good work down this right-hand side as well. It's a really deft first touch, and Silky on the ball I think is frustrating there.
Yeah, his goal last week was his first in senior football for Belconnen United. Killed the game off at 2-0 before Luca McCaw scored twice late on. Danning wins the flick on, but that's going to harmlessly go through to Sam Brown. Hasn't had much to do, Sam Brown, and finds himself 1-0 behind. Here's Adrian McCaw. Looks for Flores, the goal scorer. Yeah, Thurtell's been the busier of the 2 goalkeepers, you'd say.
Yeah, he's definitely had more to do and definitely more touches on the ball.
But crucially, it's Belconnen who lead. McCaw finds Maybury. Not much room to move for the fullback, and he can't squeeze a corner out of it.
That wind's starting to pick up a little bit more now, Russ. I'm sure you can feel it as well, but it's showing down on the field a little bit too.
Yeah, it's definitely coming off the mountains. It feels like there's some snow there. It's apparently going to rain again later this evening. Hopefully, we're long gone.
We'll be long gone by then.
Gianpaolo's touch looked for Ugrinich, won by Clements, and then was hoping that Flores would make the run for him, but he had checked back. You might be able to hear it on the microphones. Pochi's pass picked off by Maybury. Badac, though, robs the Belconnen skipper. And here's the opposite skipper, Ryan Keir, looking to put Jason Ugrinich in. Flag stays down. Onside, Jason Ugrinich. Chance for him to cut into the area. Still going Ugrinich, and that is a very good tackle by Phil Bourgeau at the expense of a corner.
That's a brilliant last-ditch effort tackle there by Phil Bourgeau, and there was about to be a shot on goal, but rewinding it back a couple of steps to Kia's pass, that's just beautiful, breaking the line back there, that perfectly weighted pass, the killer pass through the defensive line. Kia's causing all sorts of dramas with that delivery this afternoon.
The earlier the ball, the better it would seem as well before Belconnen can get set. Now they need to set themselves up for this corner. Dom Gianpaolo entrusted with it. Balac has gone near post. Ball's delivered far, and it's a chance for Oider up there. Couldn't quite get a firm enough header on it. Kishta, and he is down, I think, Nico Oider. Play goes on. Flag's gone up for offside against Jason Ugrinic, but he must have copped a head knock there.
Yeah, I think there was a head clash on that, and then as the ball was cleared, you saw him go down straight away. He looks to be in a bit of grief.
It's a bit wobbly. Let's hope it's not concussion for the big centre-back. He was challenged well by Bourgeau, wasn't he? Because he was coming in and scored a good header, as I mentioned last week, against Worden Western, and I think Thurtell was probably glad of his defensive help there because that wind caused issues for him.
Oh yeah, very much so, and that just the discipline to go down and be able to block a shot in that last second. Thurtell would be very grateful for that.
Well, it looks okay. Just a little tap on the head. They'll have to check him out, of course. Offside, I think, is the call by our assistant on the far side, Jordan King. Jordan Thurtell with the goal kick. With getting some grief off of some supporters.
We've got some fans over there, Russ.
Thurtell sends it forward. And Kia wins the header quite comfortably. Here's Pochi. Back to Ryan Keir. Marko Verkic looking to bring that forward. Pochi again. Standing off the fullback, giving him plenty of time to pick a pass. Kishta finds Colbertaldo. He's happy to switch direction to Jordan Lamb. Ugrinic. Space this side again for Pochi, left to right and back again. Not a good ball though from the fullback, and Flores will chase.
That's a couple of times now Pochi's given away a really, really simple pass, and you can see a bit of frustration settling in on himself, but he's just got to keep working and find feet on his next one.
They've looked good, haven't they, when they've created the goal gaps in the middle for Keir and Colbertaldo to thread those passes through to the front three.
And those gaps are created by the style that Belconnen's playing, which is this really flat four at the back and flat four through the middle, that there's this space in between the lines there that gives Canberra Croatia a bit of breathing room to look up and play those killer passes.
Colbertaldo goes backwards. Danning putting the pressure on Sam Brown, who finds Gianpaolo. Greenwich tried to help it around the corner, but Dustin Wells was always going to win an aerial duel against Daniel Colbertaldo, and Max Melik can advance for the Blue Devils. Danning, McCaw. Danning lifts it into the penalty area, and Flores was close to getting his head on that. Good move, and immediately Brown bowls it out, and here comes Kishta looking for Balac, and he's going to get in here. Daniel Balac holds up for him. Not much in support for him at the moment. He's done really well to swing that into the area. Bailey with a calm chest down into space, and in the end easy for Jordan Thurtell.
Solid bit of goalkeeping there by Sam Brown to come out and pluck that one. As he said, there was almost a Belconnen head finding the end of that, but really strong hands and created a quick counter-attack for Canberra Croatia.
And amongst all that, lovely little composed chest from from Darren Bailey.
Smart football.
Lamb. Canberra Croatia pressing, looking for the equaliser into the final quarter of an hour of the first half. The visitors lead live on Bar TV Sports. The goal from Luca Flores, who's chasing after this. He will be flagged offside though. Bar TV Sports, a home of grassroots football in Australia, as we said, in association with Capital Football, bringing you all the games from the national capital. Weeder back on with the fashion accessory of the bandage around the head. It's a chase on for Balac here. It's going to hold up in the wind. Balac might get there, but Thurtell did enough again. Weeder with the header. Can't miss him now. And that wind is really howling around Deakin as Colbertaldo looks to send that forward. Bailey wins a header. Bourgeot knocks it clear. Here's Mickle. Flores looks to take on Pochi. And Pochi does well to stand strong, but he's going to be picked up by Flores. Danning. All the numbers to his left. Max Melik. Can he deliver something into the penalty area? He's got Bailey up in support. And Bailey couldn't quite wrap his left foot around that one. But Luca Flores, bundle of energy, got a goal, and he's harassing the Canberra-Croatia defence whenever they get possession.
He's looking really good on the ball this afternoon. I'm really impressed with his first almost 45 minutes, and like you say, creating a few headaches for Canberra-Croatia's defensive line.
Verkic. Again, they're very disciplined and very organised, the Belconnen defence, as you'd expect. Full of old heads, experienced heads. Pochi finds Kishta. Balac, well, he's got away here momentarily, but there's Bourgeot, alert to the danger. Bailey nods it clear. Greenwich wins it back. Kishta's touch finds Colbertaldo. Balac, edge of the penalty area. Colbertaldo with a drive, and it had Thurtell worried. Maybe he had it covered.
He might have had it covered, but really nice strike there on goal for Canberra-Croatia FC. Nice bit of build-up play as well. Like you say, they've been really patient in their possession and not looking to push forward too early. But tidy bit of play, and Canberra-Croatia are definitely knocking on a goal.
Daniel Colbertaldo bagged his 19th NPL goal last week. The last in a 4-1 win over Woden Western. Tidy little finish as well from outside the area. Caught hold of it and buried it in the bottom corner. He's been threatening to get forward and help out in the goal scoring stakes. But once again, it shows that midfield trio with Colbertaldo, Kishta and Kia, when they knock that ball around one touch, two touch, it's quite impressive to watch.
It really is. It's really pretty football to watch, and they're such tidy players of the ball, just really clean passes, not trying to do anything too fancy, and it's looking promising.
Oider will bring it forwards. Plenty of green grass to run into for the defender. Everybody in blue backing off him at the moment. Greenwich. Colbertaldo got the shadow man on as Danning approached. Verkic. Colbertaldo. Greenwich. Giampaolo. Can they pick a hole in this Belconnen defence in the final 10 minutes of this first half? Oider. Balac. Again, they can't find that final pass. You have to say, Paul McCaw's got his defence really well organised here.
Yeah, it really does. Like you said, there's some experienced heads back there that are organised, and you can hear a lot of voice, a lot of talk, moving their plays in front of them. Canberra-Croatia struggling to get that final pass through.
I'll tell you what, I'm struggling to stay warm. I don't know about yourself.
Frozen.
Wells has it for Belconnen. Dink forward with the old pitching wedge, finds Kofi Danning. And again, Melik's just taken his eye off it momentarily, and it's just skipped off that surface with the wind behind it as well. If you've just tuned in, 9 minutes to go to the break. Belconnen United leading by 1-0. Luca Flores' strike after 14 minutes at the moment. Belconnen United going second on the ladder, level on points with Canberra-Croatia, and giving themselves a shot at the league title next weekend. Should it stay this way? And down at Nijong, Kuma Tigers 0, Woden Western 1. Kishta robbed by Mickle. Giampaolo. Greenwich. Now Colbertaldo again. Kishta once more, had plenty of ball, the Greek midfielder. Pochi. Kishta again. Finding Pochi again, but it's difficult for him to control, and Mabry can get involved. Now here's Flores. Bit of space for him to work in. Invites Leon Mickle to bring it forwards and run at Nico Oider. And then Ryan Keir just barges him off, and Bruno Kell's blowing the whistle when, well, Luca Flores would have rather he played on.
And Mickle again looking dangerous on the ball as well, and not afraid to run with the ball at his feet and create opportunities. And he's just invited that foul from Keir, which, albeit a technical foul, is a pretty dangerous part of the field that you want to be conceding a free kick from.
Especially with the left foot of Darren Bailey. We've seen him score goals in his Ugali days and his Riverina days from this kind of angle. And with the wind behind him, might be worth a pop here with the left foot. Sam Brown's aware of it. He's trying to get his wall sorted. Anything in that position in front of the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box is going to be difficult. 5 blue shirts on the far post if he elects to go that way. Or will Bailey go for goal? Chips it towards that far post. Coming in was Bourgeot. Might fall for Clements. Does fall for Wells, who drills one goalwards. Hits the target this time, but easy for Sam Brown.
That's a brilliant free kick there from Bailey. Just able to create that indecisiveness from Sam Brown, and had plenty of numbers there from his blue shirts, but unable to connect at the end for Belconnen United. But quality free kick there.
Since they've scored, that's looked their best route to a set piece. Kishta tries to step away from Bourgeot. He's kept it in play here, and he's delivered a decent ball into the area, but Isaac Clements, formerly of Canberra, Croatia, shovels that one out of play. 132nd NPL match for Isaac Clements today. Hugely experienced back four. Darren Bailey's playing his 49th. He'll bring up a half century next week. Phil Bourgeot is 48th. Zach Mabry 179.
It's a couple of games between them.
Yeah, like we mentioned, the experience of the back four and the likelihood of Bourgeot and Bailey, of course, barring any suspensions or any injuries, both bringing up 50 before the end of the season.
And that kind of experience is really important to bring some of the younger guys up into this Belconnen United side, and just to sort of guide them through, and having that talk from behind you is incredibly valuable.
Wells sends it out wide. Nice pass to find Mickle. Eventually gets it under control. And he's nutmegs Pochi. Now he's taking on Colbertaldo. Pochi's back. Wells has missed his kick somewhat, but he's still found McCaw. And he's found Melik in a fair bit of space here. Goes for goal. Lacked the sting to trouble Sam Brown. Not their best build-up in terms of training ground routine, but it worked. And perhaps it was just the presence of Daniel Barat tracking back that put Max Melik off his shot there. Yeah,
look, it might have been enough, but again, seeing Mickle driving at players and really comfortable with the ball at his feet, and is creating dramas for Canberra, Croatia at the back there time and time again.
One by Lamb. Chases on for Flores. He's not going to give it up either, even though Verkic and Oida made life difficult for him. Colbertaldo. Balac wanted to find Lamb. Accuracy of pass wasn't there though. Hardy spectators on the far side. A few come to support Belconnen in front of that stand where the throw is about to be taken. That's the traditional away support area, I guess you'd call it. The home fans congregate in the Ivan Bullen stand, or if they're sensible, in the clubhouse.
If you can fit in, the VIP room is the place to be.
Balac steps away from the challenge, swings it in. Clements got a touch. Mickle got rid. And Flores helps it even further on its way. Good touch that from Flores to find Mickle. And he looks for Danning. Good move this from Belconnen. Keir's back to try and stop it. Mickle takes over. Melik out wide. Flag stays down. Good move. Is there an end product? Wells. Initial touch was a bit heavy. Still finds Danning. Good shooting chance here. Good block. Verkic comes for Flores. Wriggling to find shooting room. Can't. And it's Canberra, Croatia's turn to come forward. Gianpaolo, and Bailey's committed himself, and Balac is away from the fullback here. Running at Isaac Clements, and there's a coming together, and that's a free kick, says Bruno Kell. Right on the edge of the penalty area. Is there a card for Isaac Clements as well? Yes, there is.
It's a really, really silly part of the field to give away a free kick, and Belconnen had sort of 4 or 5 defensive people in there and only a couple of Canberra Croatia boys running at them, so just really needed to hold up their attacking play and absorb a bit of that pressure.
And Darren Bailey's committed himself to that. If he gets a touch, of course, he's made the clearance. But obviously, when you commit yourself like that, if you don't get a touch, you leave yourself a little bit short.
You do. You leave yourself exposed, and you're asking a lot of your defensive line. But I still think they had the numbers there to take care of that without conceding a foul.
Well, Jason Ugrinich fancies this on the left foot. Couldn't get any closer to the penalty area without being inside the box. Angle's nice for a left footer as well to cause issues for Jordan Thurtell. Can he get something on target? Jason Ugrinich with the left foot swings it in towards goal, and Thurtell got a touch, and he's managed somehow to keep hold of it. Any touch from a red shirt, and that's probably a goal.
That had a fair bit of venom on it as well. It was struck really nicely, and Thurtell's done incredibly well just to collect that and keep that as well in his hands.
Ball sent forwards. I was chatting to Dean Ugrinich when Jordan Thurtell turned up today, talking about having a new child, and Dean says every time someone has a baby, they send him a blinder against his team. Kishta comes forwards, and that's easier for Thurtell.
Kishta will be disappointed with that, and you can see the frustration in his face. He had a bit of time to think about that one, and that might have been the problem. He's just buried it straight into Thurtell.
They're finding gaps, though. That might be worrying for Paul McCaw. And you can see the wind's taking that right out down to the touchline. Ugrinich, last 90 seconds of the first half. Kofi Danning has it for Belconnen. Nobody up with him at the moment. Support slow incoming. It's there now. Pochi, though, can tidy up. Oider. Pochi. Kishta. Balach. Nicely done to find Pochi. Kishta. Away from McCaw, who trips him up. Another free kick for Canberra, Croatia, and maybe a final chance in the first half to get some of these tall players forwards.
Another little technical foul in there just to slow things down from Canberra, Croatia.
They've gone short. Gianpaolo De Kishta, who lifted in towards Colbertaldo in the penalty area. Chance to get the shot away. Got stuck under his feet somewhat. Nice free kick though. Kishta. Barach. He can't find room either on the edge of the box. Kishta might. And then clipped it towards Kier, but couldn't quite find his way through. They're getting towards that final third, but without any final product.
Yeah, it definitely feels as though Canberra, Croatia are building towards something, and more opportunities are opening up into this second half of the first half, but just unable to connect on that final pass.
Into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Luca Flores' goal, the difference, live on Bar TV Sports, round 6 of Capital Football NPL. Bruno Kell just giving Jordan Thurtell the hurry up, having a look at the watch. Probably get a minute or so of time added on, you would think. Bit of treatment to Nico Oida, wasn't it? But it wasn't too long. Long click from Thurtell. Pochi steps away from Mickle. Barach. Mabry, though, read the dummy. Thurtell again launches that one high into the sky. All the way through to Sam Brown. He's always had a giant kick on him, Jordan Thurtell, and with a little bit of wind assist behind him, he could have a shot here.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive there. Just the one bounce before Sam Brown collected it at the other end of the pitch.
And that's the end of the first half, says Bruno Kellen. It's a half in which it's fair to say Canberra Croatia have dominated territory and possession, but it's Belconnen United who will go in ahead.
Yeah, that's right. I think Canberra Croatia have really dominated possession throughout this first half, and I think they're winning the midfield battle quite comfortably, but they're just really struggling to have any luck in that or any success in that final third, and I think that's largely due to the experience and success of Belconnen United's backline. Well,
we're all off to try and warm up a little bit if we possibly can and get out of this wind. At the break, though, Belconnen United have the wind between their tails because they lead. Luca Flores' goal after 15 minutes. The difference, it's Canberra Croatia 0, Belconnen United 1. Welcome back to Deakin Stadium here in the national capital, where at half-time Belconnen United lead Canberra, Croatia by a goal to Luka Flores with the goal here. We're just waiting for the referees to come out and his assistants. There's plenty of players ready to go though, and Belconnen United looking to increase their lead, or at least not lose it against Canberra, Croatia. Latest score from Nijong, it's still Tigers FC 0, Woden Western 1. A bit of a surprise, that one, an own goal after 36 minutes. Grace Gill is joining me in the commentary. Welcome back. It's pretty cold.
It's fresh out, Russ. It's fresh.
It is fresh. We got a couple of changes to the lineups as well. At the break, Jacob Garner is making a comeback for Belconnen United. He's come on for Zach Mabry in the Blue Devils lineup, and for Canberra, Croatia, Ivan Pavlak has come on from Nico Oider. So obviously that head injury for Nico Oider, possibly a little worse for wear. This is what I mentioned about half-time off broadcast, is that since we've not been allowed in the change rooms, the talks are real quick, the players are ready to go. It's back like in the junior days where, you know, you get the talk done quickly, it's freezing cold, you want to play.
Well, referees are still tucked away somewhere nice and warm, but players are out ready to go. And
someone needs to knock on the door, don't they, and give them a hurry up.
Give them a 1 minute call, right?
Yeah, everybody else is ready to go. We want to watch some football. First half, though, we were impressed with the way that Belconnen United set up, the way they're really tactically organised defensively. It made it really hard for Canberra, Croatia to try and break through them.
Yeah, Canberra, Croatia did really struggle to break them down in that final third, and I think they had the ascendancy in the midfield and they were controlling the midfield quite comfortably. The passing from Kier and from Kishta was really impressive, but just that final execution on getting a shot on goal wasn't quite coming off for them.
The sun's out, the wind's dropped a little. It's quite nice when that sun's on you when the wind drops, doesn't it? In relative terms.
Nice, Russ. It's nice, yes.
Yeah, it's much better than it was when the sun wasn't out and it was howling a gale in the first half.
No, the sun is beautiful, and the wind has dropped a little bit, but I think it will probably stay with us for the afternoon and be behind Canberra, Croatia into this second half.
The Canberra, Croatia lineup: Brown in goal, Pochi, Verdikic, Lam and Pavlak across the back, Kolbatalo, Kier, Kishta, Gianpaolo, Balac and Ugrinic. Belconnen United, Thurtel in goal, Bourgeot, Clements, Bailey, Garner, McCall, Wells, Melik and Mickle, Danning and Flores up front. Someone clearly needs to knock on the door for the refs so we can start. They're surely not going to wait 15 minutes if everyone else is ready to go.
They might do so, though.
They might well do so. You'd hope not. I do see a bit of movement in the tunnel, though. Well, like I said, we'll keep you updated with what's going on in the men's game down at Nijong Oval.
Still available, and if you're hungry, folks, any of Kransky rolls, Jalapeno rolls, hot drinks and cold drinks on offer at the canteen.
Looks like Canberra Olympic in the WNPL are leading 3-1 against Canberra United Academy. So it'll be a good result for Canberra Olympic if they can get 3 points there in the WNPL.
That would be a fantastic result for Olympic. I'm hearing reports that CUA did actually score first and Olympic were able to come back and sit in pretty at 4-1.
4-1 now. Extra goals. Have got that in their locker this year, Canberra Olympic. With the addition of Sykes and Begg.
That's right, with the inclusion of the Sykes or Begg, Nay Sykes, Ash and Nick, they've been a great addition to that Canberra Olympic WNPL side and really lifted the girls around them, and I think that's the kind of leadership that team's been looking for, and certainly between them Nick and Ash have plenty of experience to be able to lift the quality of the girls around them.
Well, we've managed to prize Bruno Kell and his team away from their cosy dressing room and out of the warmth into the cold again.
They don't look too pleased about it though.
Their half-time tea or coffee.
I wouldn't mind one.
We're too far away. It's for can get it delivered by Uber or something.
That's right.
Well, Belconnen United 45 minutes away from what would be a huge win for them, and that would keep the title challenge alive. Belconnen United, of course, would go joint top on goal difference, behind just on goal difference to Canberra, Croatia, who are 45 minutes away if they can find a couple of goals from being crowned league champions again. But much to do. Trailing 1-0. Pavlak's come on. He's taken the captain's armband off Ryan Kier as well, which is sentiment to him. Very experienced player. Even Pavlak, his 173rd NPL game this afternoon. Used to ply his trade a little bit further forward on that left flank. Now they've converted him into a left fullback.
They say that happens the older you get or the more experienced you get, that you work your way back the field. Is that right?
I never got further back than halfway. I was too lazy.
You said it, Russ, not me.
Absolutely. Everybody now who's seen me play will tell you exactly the same. Verkic chasing. Brown finds Ryan Keir. Well, he's left it to Dustin Wells. Here's Flores looking to get a shot away. And Pochi did enough to put him off, but Wells was snappy in that challenge.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic turn there from Keir without the look over his shoulder, but opportunistic from Belconnen United, and they're looking to get another one away.
Pavlak. What this sun will do is make it tricky for Jordan Thurtell if anything comes in from this near side. Lamb finds Gianpaolo. Looks for Greenwich. Found himself a little bit of space in which to work and picks the pass to find Pavlak. Barac outside him. Pavlak off on his own at the moment. Kishta tries one from distance, and Thurtell forced into the save, and it almost dropped into the net. Got two hands on it, but did just enough, the goalkeeper.
I always thought Thurtell would have been able to hold on to that one though, but maybe it had a bit of movement on it, but we couldn't quite tell from here. But decent effort there.
Well, Canberra, Croatia coming out sharp from the start of the second half. Dom Gianpaolo with the corner, shielding his eyes from the sun, looking to swing this one in towards where Marko Verkic is. Keir was on the far post. Still might come for Ryan Keir. Lifts it into the danger area. Barac climbed high. Gianpaolo on the far post. And his touch was just a little heavy. But warning signs at the start of the second half.
This sun is definitely something that Canberra, Croatia in the first half didn't have to deal with, and will be a bit of an adjustment for Thurtell and for Belconnen United's defensive line if it does stick with us into the afternoon.
Be welcomed by the people watching on the sidelines, I would imagine. Thurtell sends that one forward. Another massive kick. Danning wins the header. Gets a second chance as well after Pochi nods it down into his path. Here's Mickle. I'm going to run at Pavlak. Leo Mickle and swing it in towards Max Melik, who will do well to keep this in. He has. Can he deliver something back into the air? Good ball in, and Brown got there ahead of Flores. And again, a quick bowl out to get his team on the attack, on the front foot, as Gianpaolo finds Kishta. Greenwich has peeled away and got himself a bit of space if the ball finds him, but Bailey, unorthodox, it may have been, but effective. Kishta once more, and he tries his luck. Way over the crossbar though.
Kishta's got this good ability to get himself into a bit of space and create enough room for himself to get a shot away, and obviously not the result he would have wanted from that one, but promising signs for him, and I'm sure he'll continue to do that into this next half.
Don't want to give him too many sighters, the man that scored a hat-trick down at Nijong.
That's right, we've seen he can do it, and he's obviously got an eye for goal.
Interesting that both sides made a change at the break. Verkic with the header. Keir beats Mickle to it. Kishta can bring it away. Barac to his left. Gianpaolo to his right. It is Barac taking on Ghana. The young sub, and it's a good ball in towards where Greenwich was waiting. Looking poised to strike with that left foot. Didn't get a good enough connection though. The 2014 Grand Final was here, of course, and Belconnen United won that one memorably on penalties. 3-2 after a 3-3 draw. Probably not going to see quite so many goals this afternoon. Well, Bailey's back header is a bit short. Thurtell's come out. You can catch that, Grace. Almost in the commentary positions.
Well done by Thurtell to come off his line though and clear that. A bit of a questionable back pass there.
Yeah, Bailey didn't get enough on the header, did he? Or he'll argue he got just enough on the header. Cobertaldo. Lamb. Cobertaldo. Greenwich. Verkic. Ugrinic again. Colbertaldo picking these little passes in and around the Belconnen defence, but not finding the key to unlock the door at the moment. Gianpaolo slides it towards Ugrinic.
That's not a bad little look in there either. Like to see Ugrinic just even get a touch on that. He seems to be just one step off the pace this afternoon, sort of compared to his normal involvement in the play.
Melik to switch that across field towards Mikkel. Whether that was meant for Danning or Mikkel, only Max Melik will know. As it is, it found neither of them. Pavlak. Here's Pochi. When he's run into trouble and slides back to win the ball off of Liam Mikkel. I think Michael Pochi gave himself up there. I think he thought that was a foul. It's not been called though.
You can certainly hear the Belconnen supporters ask the question.
Pavlak sends it forward. Bourgeot gets in front of Gianpaolo. Wells. McCall's little touch to Danning. McCall's gone for the return here. And he's in the area, and that's a challenge from Verkic, and it was a good one too, and it needed to be. Marko Verkic sliding across.
Really, really clean challenge there by Verkic, just the ability to get all ball there, and there was a question asked, but I think it was a really clean challenge and really smart football.
Dom Gianpaolo has lasted less than 7 minutes of the second half. And Daniel Subasic is coming on. Well, that's going to precipitate a change again in terms of formation, you would think. Daniel Subasic, the central defender, immediately into defensive duty. Could only assume that there's something wrong with Gianpaolo. Maybe he's tweaked something at the start of the second half. The defensive work to be done here from Canberra, Croatia. Verkic does just that. Bailey under pressure from Ugrinic. Wells happy to go back to third tell. You can see Gianpaolo out of your picture is limping down the tunnel, so maybe he's tweaked a hamstring or something.
I think I saw him pointing to his lower back or that kind of area and looks a little bit ginger.
Lovely turn from Daniel Colbertaldo, and Dustin Wells, who's already on a yellow card, might be on his final warning here.
I think that'll be exactly what Bruno's telling him in there. I don't think there was any malice in that challenge, but certainly you need to be careful when you're sitting on a yellow card. You don't want your team to go down to 10 men.
And you've seen cards given for less.
You have indeed.
So Dustin Wells gets a ticking off from Bruno Kell, nothing more. Any more of that, and he'll be in the changing room. Well, he won't be in the change rooms because he's not allowed in the change rooms. But you know what I mean. Ryan Kira with the free kick. Looks for Pavlak. Chip towards the edge of the penalty area. Bailey should win this. Kishta nods it down. Barac is there. Ugrinic. Oh, it's Jordan Lamb rather. Twisting, trying to find a way through, and Garner loops out and forward. Good to see Jacob Garner back. He made a real breakthrough last year in this Belconnen team before injury curtailed his progress. Danning taking on Subasic. Kobe Danning, of course, played for Canberra, Croatia as well. Verkic ball forward, Lamb's touch. Bourgeot finds Wells, who in turn looks for Melik, but won't be able to keep that in play. 10 minutes into the second half, live on Bar TV Sports. It's still Belconnen 1, Canberra, Croatia 0. Luca Flores' goal, the difference between the two teams. And Canberra, Croatia have knocked on the door a few times, haven't they, without quite finding their way in.
That's exactly right, Russ. They're definitely asking the question and have come close on a few occasions and seem to have the better of possession too and opportunities. But as you say, when Belconnen are 1-0 up, it's the result that matters there.
Ugrinic tries to get away from Bailey, who's back there defending, and happy to just send it out of play. Pochi was taking it from 10 metres further back. I didn't think that was an issue. Ugrinic finds Barac. Ugrinic away from Bailey this time. His cut back only finds McCaw, who's able to bring it away. Melik down the line, but Pochi was there. Colbertaldo takes over. Pochi. Bailey slides in. So Daniel Subasic is now dropped into the back line with Verkic. And Pochi's moved to the right-hand side. Kishta. Verkic finds Kier. Kishta. Happy to bring it forward. Again, though, Belconnen really well organised defensively. Kishta finds Kier. Now Verkic. Pavlak. Oh, Mikkel's robbed him. Chance for Belconnen. Mikkel looked for Danning, but could only find Pochi. Can't keep hold of the ball at the moment, those in blue. He's coming back very quickly.
Yeah, you're right, Russ, and Belconnen United looking to go forward pretty quickly. On most occasions when they get the ball and they're not having a great deal of success with it. I think it's one of those cases of needing to settle the ball down, find feet for a little while and then wait for those opportunities to open up when you look for that long press-in ball.
Colbert-Saldo. Kishta. Oh, nice touch to take it away from Leon Mikkel.
Did he mean that one?
He'll say he did. Off he's going. He's looking for the shot as well, Kishta, and it's straight down the throat of Jordan Thurtell. He's looked likely this afternoon, isn't he? Perhaps the most likely.
Yeah, he has. Really promising on the ball, and like I said before, he's creating really great space for himself, and the fact he's getting those shots away is fantastic, but he's just got to be able to get them on a frame that's not directly at Thurtell.
Danning read the bounce better than Pochi. Opened up for him briefly, but the door was slammed shut fairly quickly by those in red. The other options for Canberra Croatia, of course, is Matt Gerbischer. Very experienced player. 202 NPL appearances before today. He's been out injured with a broken foot, had surgery on it during the lockdown period. And will be in line for a return this afternoon. Wells. Here's Colbert-Saldo. Pochi. Colbert-Saldo again. Ryan Kier. And Jordan Lamb. Again, plenty of ball from Canberra Croatia, but not quite finding that breakthrough.
As fatigue begins to set in a little bit as well, that really proactive movement becomes even more important. You can see the front line is probably starting to get a little bit static, and those checks towards the ball that we saw in the first half are just slowing down a little bit, which comes with the game, but at this point we need to be a little bit more creative and a bit more patient in those forward pressing balls.
Less than a quarter of an hour to go at Nijong. It is still Tigers FC 0, Woden Western 1, which would be a huge upset and would really throw that race to the top four open wide again. Tigers would be stuck on 9. If we stay as we are, Belconnen would be 13, Canberra Croatia 13, Gungahlin 11, Tigers 9, Tuggeranong 8, Olympics 7, all to play for.
It does mix things up a bit if that's the result that sticks, and certainly not one that you would have seen coming, hey Russ?
Not in the slightest. Yudi De Silva will be praying his side can hang on, or maybe even add to that as Tigers become a little bit more desperate and start looking for a potential equaliser. Jordan Thurtell having to tie up the laces.
Just hard to do when your hands are frozen.
He's been wearing gloves all day though, hasn't he? So he should be fine. I was thinking exactly the same thing though. It will take you a while, wouldn't it? I'm not sure this long. Bruno Kerr will certainly add it on.
I think it was just having that conversation then with a few of the players.
Canberra Croatia, of course, looking for a win that would win them the 24th title. Tuggeranong United will be hoping they get a result, to be honest, I would think, because they've got to come here next week and get a victory. Might be a little easier for them if Canberra Croatia have already won the league. Or they may well play into their hands if Canberra Croatia have to come out and try and get 3 points. We'll wait and see. That's for next week. This is for now. Ryan Kier finds Pavlak. Colbert-Saldo. Look for Barach. He's done well to win that, but then he's given it away to Kofi Danning, and Belconnen can break. Luca Flores, and out comes Sam Brown a long way from goal, and he got an important toe on it, and he needed to. Otherwise, he was stranded.
That was an incredible toe there by Sam Brown. I think otherwise he was beat to that one.
Flores would have been still had much to do, didn't he, from that angle?
He still was a fair way out. It had a bit of work to do, but had him beat for speed had he gotten that touch around him.
Mikkel's pass is picked off by Subasic. Colbertaldo finds Ugrinic. Barac, who's worked like a Trojan again this afternoon. Jordan Lamb looks for Barac, but Thurtell quick off his line.
You see the type of ball that Jordan Lamb was trying to play then, just across the defensive back line of Belconnen United, but didn't quite have the purchase on it just to get away from Thurtell.
Who lamps it forward again, looks for Flores. Subasic too strong for the young striker. Kier finds Kishta. A little nibble at the heels by Leon Mikkel to concede the free kick. Ryan Kier not hanging around. Lamb. Kishta. Kier. Very patient in the build-up, Canberra, Croatia. There's no real panic, is there?
No, that's right. That we've been saying that the whole game, looking really comfortable on the ball and definitely have the majority of this possession, but just still struggling to find their way through that top third.
Well, here's Ugrinic in behind the back. Sorry, Grace.
No.
A great ball from Jordan Lamb. Took everyone by surprise, didn't it? A lot dropped over the top, and Ugrinic brought it down. Couldn't get the shot away.
Couldn't quite get the touch on it, but Ugrinic has come into the game in this last sort of 10 minutes or so and starting to be more involved, and good opportunity there for Canberra, Croatia.
Still on the front foot, corner. Jason Ugrinic with it, with the left foot to swing it in. A dangerous one into the clustered area. Kier got a nod on it. Might come for Subasic, who drives it goal as the deflection's fallen to Barac in the area, and he swivels and equalises. The flag stays down, the goal will count. Canberra, Croatia back on terms.
A solid finish there by Barac, and Belconnen United will be disappointed they were unable to clear that one effectively off the corner, and a few scrappy little touches in there, but nothing sure about that finish. That was a slammed home there by Barac.
Second of the season for Daniel Barac. We said he's been working hard, that's his reward. Got the equaliser here against Canberra Olympic in midweek a fortnight ago. They went on to win that one. Is history about to repeat itself here? One step closer to the title, Daniel Barac with the equalising goal.
Well, how quickly momentum can shift in a game, and Canberra, Croatia maybe putting the gas on now and taking the ascendancy into the last sort of 30 minutes of this game.
It's a decent finish, wasn't it?
I don't think there was much Thurtell could have done about that one.
Felt nicely for him, to be fair, but the work needed to be done for Daniel Barac, and just past the hour mark, he brings his side level. And you think on the balance of play, that's probably deserved.
Yeah, look, I think that's really well deserved, and Canberra, Croatia have been pressing for the whole game and haven't been rewarded yet, so I think that's probably a fair reflection of the work they've done.
Well, they'll feel they can go on and win this from here. You look back to that foot that Sam Brown got on that through ball when Luca Flores was bearing down on goal for a moment, and all of a sudden there could have been 2-0. As it is, we're 1-1.
Well, there are those moments in a game that can so quickly change the momentum of a game, and we've seen that quickly turn around, and Canberra, Croatia will be pressing forward and trying to get a second goal.
For Daniel Barac, though, there's not many more hard-working strikers in the competition. He has run a lot today, hasn't he, and put a lot of pressure on, and you get your rewards if you do that kind of work.
Particularly for that traditional kind of number 9. He does a lot of running off the ball and a lot of work off the ball, so to be able to get on the end of one, he'll be very pleased with that.
Subasic with a header, stooping to conquer. Lamb's touched, looks for Kishta outside him. Bourgeau's going across with the midfielder and managed to get there just ahead of him. Settled in nicely since his transfer, Emilio Kishta from Tuggeranong, from Monero Panthers in the off-season.
Yeah, he has. He's a real ball player, and you can see he's always looking for the ball and always creating opportunities, and I've mentioned a couple of times creating space for himself, but equally just laying off to other players and playing really simple football.
McCall. Colbertaldo. A little touch from Barac to find Kishta. Tried to return the pass to Colbertaldo, but Dustin Wells was back using his experience. Could only clear as far as Pavlak, though. Lamb and Kier Don't think he saw Luca Flores back defending. Jordan Lamb finds Velkic. Subasic. Kishta. Velkic ball forward, but no one in a red shirt can pick it up. Here's Garner at the back for Belconnen United, looking to reassert the lead they took early on. Pavlak sends it forward. At the moment, though, if you were a betting person, it would be probably Canberra Croatia money would be on.
We could think so, Russ, but really important that Canberra Croatia don't become impatient and move away from the style of football that they've been playing for the majority of this match and just continue to pass the ball around and maintain that possession.
And the chances may well come. Halfway through the second half, it's 1-1. Daniel Barac's equalising goal as Canberra Croatia go looking for a 24th League Championship. Kier. Pavlak. Jordan Lamb. Can he deliver something in towards Barac? And Thurtell was there for Belconnen. His clearance, though, is not one of his best, but it's going to drop for a blue shirt, and a combination of Wells and Mickle in each other's way.
You don't often see Thurtell try and play short either. He's not trying to find his defensive line in the back third. He often looks for that long ball, and as you said, a really impressive distribution.
Bailey off on a run. We haven't seen much of this afternoon, and it's pretty dangerous when he gets up there, and he's going to win his team a corner off the shin of Daniel Subasic.
Good run by Bailey there as well. That's what you want your outside backs to be able to do, whether it's deliver across or create a goal scoring opportunity through a corner. That's the kind of attacking play you like from your outside backs.
Flores to take. Not too many blue shirts in there at the moment. Bourgeot jogging forward to join Clements. That's swung in and nodded clear by Pochi at the near post. Kista just shoveled it away, but Wells was quickest to react, and Clements to stay forward here, the skipper, and he's fired this one across goal, and that wasn't too far away from causing issues for Brown. For a moment it looked like it might drop into the back of that net.
I don't think it's quite the delivery he was after, but he wouldn't have complained had that one dropped in.
Bit of pressure from Belconnen. Not seen an awful lot of it since they went ahead after 15 minutes. Jacob Garner entrusted with the long throw. He'll probably go short now, I've said that. Trying to find any blue shirt at the moment. Picks out Danning. Invites Bailey onto the attack. Greenwich stands him up. And Colbertado can bring that away. And find Jason Greenwich. Bit of space ahead of him. Max Melik diligently tracking back with Jason Greenwich, who holds the ball up, waiting for support. Colbertaldo, Ryan Kier, Kishta. The option was out wide, wasn't it? And didn't take it. Ivan Pavlak was there. Wasted opportunity, perhaps.
Yeah, again, Belconnen looking for a quick counter-attack, and
well, Brown's nearly made an absolute hash of that, and they got lucky. Subasic was there.
He's very lucky to get away with that one, Sam Brown.
Not his finest moment.
No, he puts his hand up to let the players know.
Time ticking away at Nijong. 3 minutes to play, and Woden Western are still leading by 1-0. Full-time score in the WNPL. Canberra Olympics 6. Canberra United Academy 1. Jordan Lamb, his afternoon is over, and here comes the mink pink haircut of Matt Gerbischer.
He did give us strict instructions that it was mink pink.
Absolutely. Very proud of his new haircut. Good to see him back in action in all seriousness though, Matt Gerbischer. Just at the right time for Dina Greenwich ahead of finals as well. Nick Boblis apparently not too far away either.
Yeah, most certainly a welcome addition to the side, and a really quality player for Dean to have in his arsenal.
So all change at the back again. Velkic has gone to left back and gets that pass from Gerbischer. And then pings a lovely ball looking for Ugrinich. It wasn't quite there. The idea was right though. Not quite able to pull it off. Bailey tries exactly the same. Up towards Danning. Gurubisha with a header. Ryan Keir. Balac has made the run through the middle and Keir spotted it. Now it's all about the bounce and it skipped off the turf to Jordan Thurtell.
There's a couple of long balls I've tried in a row there from both sides really, and without too much success.
Gurubisha again wins the header. 3 headers in a row for the substitutes. Sam Brown with a little chip over the top towards Ugrinich. Pochi. A little bit of a lazy pass from Pochi, and Flores has it. Melik looks seen for Danning in there, and Gurubisha couldn't get a touch, and Verkic has shinned it wide for a corner. Gurubisha missed it, and Danning throws his hands up in the air. He can't believe he hasn't got a touch on that.
I think he expected that was going to get a touch on it, which is that thing, it kind of catches you off guard for a split second, and he was the only one really in the box for Belconnen United, so prime opportunity there for them to equalise. Sorry, to go ahead, should I say.
Real chance for them to re-establish the lead, wasn't it? I think Liam Mickle is coming off for Belconnen United as well, and I think this is Ethan Stamatis who's coming on.
I think Leon Mickle had a really, really quality innings out there. He always looked dangerous when he got on the ball and created some fantastic opportunities for Belconnen United.
Stamatis' first task is to take the corner.
No pressure on that one.
Well, let's hope he's up to speed for the Blue Devils. Not a bad delivery. Swung into the danger area, and Brown did really well to pluck that out of the air above a cluster of bodies.
Yes, and Brown's done well there to hold on to that cleanly.
Pavlak. Keir. And Ghana has got that all wrong. Just the movement from Ugrinich, I think, foxed him for a moment. Balac and Bailey coming together. The old-fashioned shoulder charge.
I didn't see too much in that one, did you, Russ?
Nah, proper European challenge.
Solid shoulder there.
Given and taken a few yourself, I would imagine,
Never.
down the years.
Not me.
Ryan Keir. I'll remember that next
Okay.
Saturday when I'm up here with Sarah West.
All right, I'll give you a nod.
Here's Colbertaldo. Ryan Keir. Good ball that towards Pavlak. Skipped off the turf again towards him. Belconnen want a handball. Nothing doing since Bruno Kell, and Pavlak lifts that into the penalty area. Not a bad ball that. It's going to come out for Colbertaldo. Thought about the shot. Finds Kishta. He's not shy of a hit. Balac twisting in the penalty area, and Dustin Wells can bring it away, but Colbertaldo fires it goalwards, and it's not too far away. I think some in the Canberra FC, Canberra Croatia section thought that might have crept in.
That was a really great strike there by Colbertaldo, and second time we've seen him get a strike on goal, like similar to that one earlier in the first half. Does really well to get his head over and keep it on the deck, and he had Thurtell beat. It just snuck past the far post.
Threatening with just over a quarter of an hour to go to turn this one on its head. Another huge clearance by Jordan Thurtell, and it's going to be a free kick here and a soft one. Marko Verkic making a back for Stamatis. And Belconnen have a chance to throw some bodies forward. Isaac Clements making his way up to the edge of the penalty area. Pulled rank on Max Melik there out of your picture and sent him backwards. Free kick to be taken by Darren Bailey. We're going to lift this into the penalty area to find a blue shirt. Bailey's delivery is high and hanging. Subasic climbs above Clements. It falls for Wells. Sets aim, Dustin Wells, and it was dipping, and it wasn't too far away from Dustin Wells.
That was more what he was talking about when he referred to bringing his shooting boots. It was a much better effort than some of his previous ones in the game, but a free kick between these two teams. I think Canberra Croatia definitely have the height advantage, and Subasic has done really well to get up and win that header.
Brown kicking into the wind, of course. And he sliced that one out of play, much to the delight of the Belconnen support. Quarter hour to go. Can you see a winner here?
I think both teams are still going to press for one. Neither team will want to settle with a draw.
That was Bourgeot looking for Melik. And Brown, as Grace Gill suggested, not settling for anything. Finds Ugrinic. Colbertaldo. Sweeping ball, but he's only picked out the head of Jacob Gardner. Verkic finds Kishta. Almost slid it through. Clements saw what was happening and finds Wells. He wanted Melik to get on his bike. Melik does have it. All the way back to Jordan Thurtell.
Melik's done a really good job coming into this side for the last minute inclusion in the squad. And
here's Pavlak looking to find Kishta. Stepping away, got tackled. And a free kick to Canberra, Croatia. They've gone short. Colbertaldo, shooting range. Daniel Colbertaldo, not far away again as well. It dipped away from goal, and I think Jordan Thurtell was a little bit worried.
Well, Kishta looked to play that one really quickly, and given the last couple of attempts from Colbertaldo, I don't blame them for trying that quick shot.
How about this? Full time, Nijong Oval, Tigers FC 0, Woden Western Wanderers 1.
Well, doesn't that mix things up a little bit?
Certainly does. It means that Tigers sit on 9 points from 6 games. And that means that that door for the top 4 is well and truly ajar for several clubs now. Means that the last round of regular season action next week is going to be absolutely massive, particularly the clash between Tigers and Belconnen United.
And especially if this result holds as a draw, Russ.
Well, you have to have a look at it, and Tuggeranong come here on the Sunday. By then they will know exactly what they'll need to do, because the other 3 games will have been played. So Mitch Stevens, Tuggeranong United, in with an outside chance. Still got 15 minutes for things to change here as well, as Bailey launches that towards Bourgeois. It's going to be a corner for Belconnen United. Fair to say, not many would have thought that Uli De Silva's side would go down there Nijong and get 3 points today.
We didn't pick it, Russ, but stranger things have happened.
I rarely pick the scores, to be honest. One of those seasons, it's been up and down. Incredibly, despite losing 3 games, doors still open for Canberra Olympic as well. Or losing 2 games, I should say. Ball swung into the air from Bailey towards the far post. Clements was there, and I think Flores may have taken away from him.
That's a decent ball in there as well by Bailey.
Barach brings it down. Challenges with Wells. Pochi. Kier. Well, that's short, and it's found Luca Flores. He'll have to do it all on his own, Luca Flores. Subasic with a sliding challenge to win the ball, and Gerdebischer found Kishta, and in turn he's looked for Pavlak. Again, there was a lot of calling from those in blue wanting a free kick, but it looked like Subasic won the ball cleanly.
It did look like a clean challenge from here. And he's done a great job since he came on into the second half. Russ Subasic at the back there has been really steady with his challenges and some really important aerial wins as well.
It's not often teams change both centre-backs in terms of formation. Verkic has gone out to the left-hand side. But when you've got the quality of Subasic and Gerdebischer in there as well,
it's one of the parts of the field that you keep fairly solid throughout 90 minutes. So to see the number of changes across the backlines is kind of unusual.
Well, Verkic has lost out here. Here's Flores. Stamatis with him. Danning left. Here's Melik. A lot of space for Max Melik. Gets on that right foot and tried his luck. Didn't have the venom to trouble Sam Brown.
Almost wanted to see Melik drive into that space there. He had a lot of room in front of him, and I think his first touch probably took his angle away from him, and he took himself back into traffic.
I think he knows that as well. He had his hands on his head. He's ruining the opportunity that's gone begging here. Here's Gerdebischer. Is the script written for him to come back in and grab a winner against his former team as well? Wins that header. Verkic nods it forwards. Coming up to the final 10 minutes live on Bar TV Sports. You're watching NPL Round 6. It's Canberra, Croatia 1, Belconnen United 1. Just a reminder, next week, well, tail off in a second. Here's Danning, Melik outside him. Here's Max Melik. Real chance for Melik, and he scores this time. No mistake for Max Melik. Belconnen United back in front.
Well, what an inclusion into this Belconnen United side. It was a late call-up into the team, and Max Melik has been instrumental in both goals for Belconnen United, and that one he had his chance again. He had an opportunity a couple of moments ago, but that one he made no mistake on and fired that one over the head of Sam Brown.
In off the underside of the bar, the Blue Devils regain the initiative. And if Canberra Croatia are to settle their league title today, well, they've got plenty of work to do in the final 10 minutes. Once again, the table takes a bit of a twist.
I think Sam Brown almost got a hand to that as well, so he'll be frustrated with himself. It wasn't too far from his range. It was just had such venom on that strike.
Is there a response from Canberra Croatia? Pavlak's ball into the penalty area. Important touch from Bailey as Ugrinic was poised. Pochi's going to keep this in. Ryan Keir. Verkic. Kishta. Keir. Pochi still happy to take their time. Subasic, Flores putting the pressure on. It was a turnover ball as well, wasn't it, that enabled Belconnen to get that chance for Max Melik.
And he capitalised on that opportunity as well.
Ugrinic, Melik defending now. Ugrinic steps inside rather easily. Gudbisha looks for the 1-2 with Kishta. It's been picked off by McCaw. Stamatis, bit of space for him to run into, and Subasic needs to make the challenge. Good 1-2. Verkic, I think we're in for an exciting final 8 minutes here.
I think so, and Belconnen have really sat back in now.
Barac tried to squeeze it in behind Ugrinic and just a couple of yards too far ahead of the number 9. What would you do from here, Grace? Are you sitting back and protecting the lead, or are you thinking, well, let's try and pick up another one?
I think for Belconnen United, they need to hold on to their lead. They need to be really smart in this last 10 minutes of football. Not giving the ball away easily and maintaining possession is going to be particularly important for them.
3 points here would put them in the finals, of course. And heap the pressure on Gungahlin United next week as well.
They've set up defensively for a lot of this game, but it's been quite effective for Belconnen, and you can see they've got a good defensive block set up at the moment, and it'll come down to the experience of their players back there just to keep the boys in line and keep them nice and steady.
Plenty of permutations to work out next weekend, of course.
Thurtell taking as much of his time as he can on this goal kick.
Stamatis flicks that on. Well, the pressure definitely on Tigers FC next week. 9 points. They play Belconnen away at Hawker at 5:30.
It's not a position I think they would have expected to find themselves in.
Subasic dawdled on the ball, did well to win it back after putting himself into problem. Kopatala finds Keir. Pavlak. Happy to run at Jacob Garner. Still going, Pavlak fires it goalwards on the weaker right foot. Called Thurtell into action again.
Not a bad little mazy run by Pavlak there, and to get a strike on the end of that is positive, but Thurtell managed that one quite easily.
Well, you're thinking, looking at the permutations, Gungahlin may well be safe unless there's a huge turnaround in goal difference with their 11 points. But a Tigers defeat, coupled with a big Canberra Olympic win, could well see Canberra Olympic squeeze into the top 4 next week as well. Whatever happens, you can watch it all here live on Bar TV Sports.
It'll be an exciting round of football as well.
Especially the 3 games on the Saturday afternoon. 3:45 Woden Western versus Olympic and Melrose. 5:30 Belco versus Tigers at Hawker, and Panthers versus Gungahlin at the Riverside. Flores off and running. Very much isolated at the moment. He's past Ugrinic though, and he tries to get past Gudbisha, who just bundles him over. And that's going to be a yellow card for Matt Gudbisha. Pretty easy decision, that one, I think, for Bruno Kell.
Look, that was a really solid challenge there on Flores, and has been really effective this game. So that was I think a bit of a silly challenge on Gudbisha at this point in the game, at that part of the field. It was a no-brainer.
He's fairly flattened Luca Flores there, hasn't he?
Yep. And Flores looks to be in a fair bit of dismay.
Wouldn't have been out of place at GIO Stadium last night with the Brumbies and the Waratahs,
right,
I don't
that's
think.
Right. It's just that discipline in the final third. Using your body in an effective and smart way, and I think that was probably a little too heavy.
Maybe. He's not played for a while. Maybe he's a bit slow to get there. Give him the benefit of the doubt. It wasn't pretty. Can't really claim it wasn't him with that mink pink haircut either, can he?
He can't hide from that at all, no.
Upshot is a free kick in a pretty dangerous position with the quality of Kofi Danning and Dustin Wells around. Danning's placed the ball. Looks favourite. With the right.
Look, you think you'd have to have a shot from this kind of distance.
Well, considering that we're out of your shot, there's probably 6 Belconnen players on the halfway line defending. I think a shot's probably a fair assumption. Only 2 players in the box.
Or a trick play to Dustin Wells there, he might find.
Stamatis making the late run. Danning goes for goal and Gerbischer wears it in the face.
He got one back on Gerbischer.
Danning has it. Here's Melik, whose goal separates the sides. Danning, lovely ball in towards Stamatis. Good defensive header from Verkic, going the wrong way.
It's a fantastic defensive header there from Verkic.
Kishta can't get it under control. He was heading back at a rate of knots towards his own goal to twist the head and get rid of it into a non-dangerous position.
Good defending.
Wells plays it forwards. Kishta has it for Canberra, Croatia. Daniel Colbertaldo just checks back onto his left-hand side, finds Barac to Colbertaldo up towards the edge of the penalty area. Pavlak almost squeezed it through, gets a second bite of the cherry. Barac looks to lay it off and Bourgeot hoiks it forward up towards Danning, beaten in the air by Subasic. Melik off and running, Flores wants it. Melik goes himself, Subasic across with him and just eases him out of the way, and a free kick goes the way of Canberra, Croatia. Under 3 minutes to play, plus stoppage time.
Well used his body there by Subasic, and you see Melik just frustrated and gives away a pretty simple free kick.
Verkic, Colbertaldo, Kier, Pavlak. It's been a bit of a tactical masterclass by Paul and Danny McCourt today, hasn't it? They've seen what Canberra, Croatia have got, and they've put a team out there to combat it, and it's done very well.
You can hear from their bench as well, nothing through is what the message is. So nothing through the guts is what I'm thinking. They're encouraging Canberra, Croatia to either go back or out wide and happy to absorb that kind of pressure, but they don't want to see anything come through the centre of the pitch.
Which they've done successfully for 88 minutes so far. Pochi, Ugrinic, Pochi. Canberra, Croatia's 10-game unbeaten streak under threat.
I imagine we'll have a few minutes of extra time as well, not only with the substitutions, but a couple of injuries that we've seen throughout the second half. Gerbischer,
a good pick out towards Ugrinic. The ball holds up in the wind. He's got the better of Bailey momentarily, but Bailey's back there to defend. Anyway, will do for him at the moment. Pochi with a throw. Kishta tried to squeeze it through. Bailey just hammers it down the field. Sam Brown playing well out of his goal. Nice touch to Subasic. 70 seconds to play plus stoppage time. Gerbischer lifts it forward. Ugrinic again the target, but Thurtell's come and will gleefully take his time over this one. Jordan Thurtell, cap a big week for him, wouldn't it?
It definitely would. New dad and a win if they are able to carry this out over the next few minutes.
Colbertaldo in the centre circle. Can he orchestrate something in this final 60 seconds? Gerbischer under pressure from Danning finds Pochi. Ugrinic, you could never write off Canberra, Croatia. That one's a bit loose. Stamatis goes for it, but the sliding challenge from Verkic. You can't switch off, can you, at any stage, because they can score late goals. They've done it before on many an occasion. They're going to have to pull something out of the fire here, though, as we enter the final 10 seconds plus stoppage time of the encounter. We've already had one surprise result today. Tigers beaten Woden Western, and whilst this one wouldn't rank as a huge upset, still perhaps a surprise.
Yeah, and certainly not the result that Canberra, Croatia would be looking for in sealing the premiership. But Belconnen United have put on a really tactical masterclass in the way of just being able to absorb a lot of pressure but make the most of the chances when they have had them going forward.
And the remarkable record at this venue looks like it's continuing.
Well, you did say, Russ, they've scored 2 goals at Deakin Stadium in every result here since 2013, and they've stuck true to that today.
Quite incredible when you think about it, against one of the preeminent sides in the competition. What's best for them though this afternoon is the fact they've only conceded 1, so they are leading. On some of the occasions they have scored twice here and lost. That's not going to be the case today unless we have a quite remarkable stoppage time. Pavlak, Canberra Croatia looking for an equalizer. Kobataldo, Subasic, Pochi, Ugrinic, Subasic, Gerbischer. It's all very well playing it around here, but they need to get it forward, and Gerbischer recognises that and stretches the legs, advancing forward, off on a run. Matty Gerbischer into the penalty, it goes down to the challenge, penalty, Canberra Croatia. There's the impact from the bench. Bailey, the fall guy, he's brought down Gerbischer, and in stoppage time, Canberra Croatia have a chance to rescue a point.
Well, this is the drama we were talking about, and that's a really confident run there by Gerbischer to take it up through the middle. Through the middle where Belconnen were trying to avoid this happening and just invite the pressure from Bailey to give away that penalty in, I'd say, the 92nd minute.
Well, nobody in a red shirt really looked like who they knew who's going to take this spot. Emilio Kishta is the man who's been tasked with the responsibility. 3 goals this season, all of them against Nijong. A big moment this in the season for both sides.
Opportunity to share in the points here.
Kishta from the spot scores for Canberra Croatia, takes them a step closer to the title. The green midfielder confident from 12 yards. Jordan Thurtell no chance, and the home side have nicked a point in stoppage time.
That's a class penalty there from Kishta, and he stepped up really confidently to finish that. I think Thurtell picked the right way and may have even got a finger to it, but it just had too much speed and power behind it, and a really class finish from the spot.
Whilst that wouldn't guarantee the title, it gives them a one hand on it, a 3-point cushion at the top of the table.
It's probably fair indication of the possession and control they've had of this game.
Well, I mentioned seconds ago that you never write them off, and you do so at your peril. Here's Danning looking for another twist. Stamatis is in here, couldn't get a touch on it. Could have won it for Belconnen. Dramatic ending to this. Ugrinic sends it forward to Kier. Badac running into the channel. Has he got the legs on Clements? He hasn't. And all of a sudden it's Canberra Croatia with a spring in their steps. They feel they can nick this and seal the title.
It's a good quality challenge there by Clements there, just last stitch to be able to push that one out for a throw-in.
Is there a championship winning goal in red this afternoon? Pochi swings it in. Stamatis almost got to the end of one at the other end. Kobataldo, Pavlak, Verkic. Can he load something into the box? Marko Verkic, he can. Swung in there towards Badac. It might come for Ugrinic on the far post. Jason Ugrinic probably wins the title for Canberra Croatia with what could be the last kick of the match. It is incredible. You could not script it.
Fantastic work by Ugrinic there. He's come into this second half much more effectively than he was in the first, and really opportunistic finish to get on the end of that one and put Canberra Croatia up 3-2 in what would have to be the 95th minute of this game.
2 goals in stoppage time may well have won them the title. An incredible ending to the game. Said 3 minutes ago, you don't write this team off because they've got this in their locker. And yet again this season, Dean Ugrinic's side have dug deep and come up or trumps. They could have lost it if Stamatis has had a stud an inch longer. They may well have won it. Incredible. Garner for Belconnen. Bourgeot. Kier. launches it into the sky. Clements nods it down. Colbertaldo back towards Barac. And still we play. Clements keeps it in. Bruno Kell looks at the watch again. There cannot be much more of this to go at Deakin Stadium. Drama aplenty at the end. We thought Belconnen had won it. We thought that Canberra Croatia nicked an equaliser. And now it looks like they've stolen all 3 points and the league title with it. Swung forwards towards Flores, giving Pavlak a hard time still. One inside a throw. Belconnen can throw every single player forward. They may as well. You mentioned they scored twice here, and I did mention they've scored twice and lost on a couple of occasions. Looks like, unbelievably, it's going to happen again. Finds Flores. He fires it in. They want a penalty. Stamatis on the turn, slips, and then an inopportune moment, and that is it. Canberra, Croatia will claim a 24th title with a quite remarkable ending to the game. 2 goals in stoppage time. Grace Gill, phenomenal ending.
That was an incredible ending to this match, and Belconnen United players defeated on the field in front of us, and they thought they'd just come away with it, and just as last few minutes of extra time, Canberra Croatia kept pushing, were able to capitalise from a penalty, and then in the 9 minutes of the game, a finish by Ugrinic just to get them over the edge. But what a match.
And what a weekend we have got set for us next week. Take a look at this league table. After 6 rounds, Canberra Croatia 16 points, home and hose, league champions. Gungahlin United on 11, Belconnen United on 10, Tigers on 9, Tuggeranong on 8, Canberra Olympic on 7. There's 5 sides there that could still potentially make finals. Next weekend, Belconnen, 3rd, will play Tigers 4th. One of those is likely to miss out. Tuggeranong United play in 5th place. They play Canberra Croatia on Sunday, league champions. Canberra Olympic in 6th on 7 go to Woden Western. Gungahlin United in 2nd go to the Panthers. A remarkable weekend of football coming up next weekend. And to top all that off as well, we're here for WNPL. Top of the table clash 2, Belconnen versus Canberra Croatia. Good time to be watching football in the national capital.
It sure is. We're coming into a very exciting end of finals football, and what a match we saw here today between Canberra Croatia and Belconnen United.
Well, make sure you tune in next week for Bar TV. Hopefully it's as dramatic as what we've just seen. We have got something special in store for you. Grace Gill, thank you very much for your company this afternoon. It's been a pleasure to be up on the gantry here for you. What a match here at Deakin Stadium. An early goal from Luca Flores put Belconnen United in front. Canberra Croatia equalising through Daniel Barac in the 63rd minute. We thought the Blue Devils had won it when Max Melik struck with 10 minutes to play, but somehow Canberra Croatia, needing a win to take the league title, scored twice in stoppage time. Emilio Kishner from the penalty spot after Matt Gerdebischer was fouled, and then dramatically, with the last kick of the game virtually, Jason Ugrinic takes the spoils for the home team. It's been a great afternoon of football. It's finished Canberra Croatia 3, Belconnen United 2.